What is going on, y'all? My name is Kermit. If you guys don't know about this channel, it's everything politics, life, everything. Okay? So, I want to start off by doing a little rant. It's been a while since I've given a nice little rant, and it's going to be a pretty big rant because I got a lot to say, and I've been just holding it in, and I feel like I have no outlet, so this is my outlet. First, I want to say I've had friends, relatives that for the last 10 plus years, they haven't evolved, they haven't done anything to improve their life. Self improvement, they haven't done any of that. They haven't gotten any better, they haven't gotten a career change to upgrade their income, they haven't done a couple of things. And most of them, the ones that I'm talking about, it's their responsibility, it's their fault. They didn't do the necessary steps to improve their life. Now, I have a few friends, a small group, that unfortunately, given the circumstances that they were, given by God, unfortunately, they weren't allowed to improve. Let's say immigration status. They didn't have papers, so they couldn't go to school. It was very difficult for them in the country, and it still is difficult for them. And I feel for them, and I'm here for them. They talk to me all the time, what have you. The others are, some of them might have gotten sick, and unfortunately, health is our major wealth, and when you don't have that, unfortunately, things don't really shape up to how you want them to be. So, for that reason, when I'm improving, and maybe the last 7 years, 5 years, I've really taken it to heart to really improve my life and also make it a responsibility for those friends that aren't as privileged as I am to work harder, to push a little bit harder, to take advantage of the privilege that I have. I'm not afraid to accept that I have privilege and use my privilege. A lot of people have privilege and they don't admit it, and they also don't know what to do with that privilege. Right now, we just had the election, right? So on one side, you have the Democratic Party, and you have the other side, which is the Republican Party. The Democrats, for my majority of my life, I've been a supportive group, a supportive ally to that group. The reason for that is because they seem to be more pro immigration, or helping people that are already here to help gain immigration clearance, whether that be student visas, work, whatever, for the dreamers, help them out, right? That's kind of my biggest reason why I've been a supporter of the Democrats, because they're half of my family damn near doesn't have papers. They're illegal here. They have a hard time here. So obviously I align with them in that regard. But aside from that, the Democratic Party, they just dangle. They dangle, oh, we'll help immigrants, and then they never help them, but yet they start doing other things that I don't agree with. Another thing that I've always been in favor of is giving, obviously keeping the rights of women. Women rights are it's a tricky issue, but I have sisters. Obviously, I want them to get paid the same amount that I get paid for doing the same work, though. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of times that part gets kind of forgotten. It's not just you get to sit on the sidelines because you're a woman, you get all this privilege and you get paid the same. No, you got to put in the same amount of work that a man puts in, and that, I think, sometimes gets missed in the debate. But women have all the rights possible in this country right now. So I'm not really concerned too much with that. I think we've gotten a long way. We've come a long way with that, and I know abortion is another thing that people. Abortion is never going to go away. People can get rid of babies. It's never going to go away. That's a personal choice. Doctors are not dicks in this country. They're very helpful. You can get the help you need if you really want the help. But again, they always just dangle things in front of you, in front of your face, just to try to like keep you on their side. But they don't really end up doing anything. Bernie Sanders was supposed to be one of the candidates way back when Hillary, I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary. I wanted him to beat Hillary so that he could go against Donald Trump, and I was going to vote for Bernie and then hopefully have Bernie as our president. A nice, actual, genuine, good man. That didn't work out. The Democrats, are very corrupt, and they planted Hillary, and they kept Hillary in there, whatever. And then Donald Trump ended up winning. I voted for Andrew Yang. If you don't know who Andrew Yang is, as a Democrat, well then a lot of times like, how come people talk to me about politics when you don't know who these people are, or you don't know other avenues of the Democratic Party that they should be doing? So, because again, I don't agree with Hillary. She's more of a war person. Maybe here and domestically, it's like all nice and good, but behind closed doors, they're doing wars in other countries, trying to establish other governments that maybe we shouldn't be doing when we need help here in our country. So that was the last time that I really was like aligning with the Democratic Party. And again, it's only because of the immigration thing. Fast forward to today, the Democratic Party is very like against free speech. Anytime you say something or question something, they want to shut you up, they want to ban you, they want to get rid of you. And that is not a foundation of our country. That is against everything core that we have in this country. So I take that very seriously. I don't like that. So, but the Democratic Party is like a leader of doing that, of shutting people up and censoring people. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, who's a known Democrat, came out and said, hey, like, they gave me a lot of money to pretty much like censorship a bunch of things that could have ultimately been right or actual facts. So again, I'm aware, I'm like thinking, I don't really like what the Democrats are doing. Now we have the Republicans, right? Republicans have always been known to be a little racist, the racist party. And that's how I kind of was growing up. When Obama came into office, there was so much racial tension, and I loved Obama. I didn't end up voting for him the first time because I couldn't vote for him. And the second time I didn't vote for him because I liked Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson was an independent libertarian, and I liked him. I liked his ideas. And again, a lot of times these two-party systems, they dangle like cookies in front of you, try to grab them, and they never give them to you. So I get sometimes tired of that, so I'm gonna vote for who I think like, hey, if they were actually in office, they would give me my cookie. So Gary Johnson, he was a real proponent of legalizing cannabis, helping out immigrants. He was socially accepting of people, but also very fiscally conservative, knowing like, hey, like we can't be spending money on helping everybody. We gotta eventually like help ourselves. So then fast forward to the whole Bernie Sanders debacle with Hillary, and then I ended up voting for Andrew Yang. Gary Johnson was my first one. Then it was Rand Paul, and then it was Andrew Yang. I might be skipping Rand Paul, and I think I went to Andrew Yang. I think it was Gary Johnson, Andrew Yang, and then this year, now we're gonna get into the thick of it. So Kamala, she was the vice president. She didn't get voted by anybody to be the Democratic leadership. She just got, because Joe Biden, unfortunately, his mental health got terrible, that he can't run the country. They just gave Kamala the go-ahead and be the candidate. That doesn't sit right with me. That's not American democracy. That's just putting in Kamala. We should have had another election real quick before the date and let's get somebody else to be the Democratic nominee, but they gave it to Kamala. That's dictatorship right there. That's like giving it to somebody that I don't agree with. I would rather have another Democrat that I actually agree with that I can vote for, so I don't have somebody else to vote for. On the Republican side, the guy that I really liked was Robert F. Kennedy. Robert F. Kennedy was going to be on the Democratic side, but again, they didn't want him to vote. They didn't push him up. Just they did the same thing that they did to Bernie, the same thing that they did to Andrew Yang. They don't want these actual people that are going to give you real results. They just want those guys that are going to dangle you the cookies and you never get them. I'm tired of that, and I don't like the Democratic Party. They're aligning with too many taxation on of our dollar bills, our income. If you check how much money you get taken out of your paycheck, thank the Democrats, because that's all the money that's being taken out of. So I'm getting sick of that. They put in Kamala. I don't agree with Kamala. That's not who I want to be representing the Democratic Party. On the Republican side, everybody voted for Donald Trump. I didn't care for Donald Trump to be the nominee. Again, I wanted Robert Kennedy, but then he ended up going to the Republican side, and now he was campaigning to be a Republican side. So then I wanted to vote for this guy, right? But then all of a sudden he endorsed Donald Trump. And the reason why he endorsed Donald Trump is because a lot of the things that like our health, food, and like the food that we consume, it's all like, too many additives, too much sugar, too much salt, too much preservatives. Robert F. Kennedy, he really wants to get rid of all that stuff, but the Democratic Party, they're aligned a lot with the pharmaceutical companies and all that, so like it's hard to create change in the Democratic Party, and they already kind of kicked them out. So he endorses Donald Trump because he knows that, or he thinks that Donald Trump is able to more go against what the government is trying to do, which is poison us with this food. So now I can't vote for this guy. Again, the only thing that's keeping me aligned with the Democratic Party is the immigration issue. I feel for the immigrants. However, knowing how Donald Trump speaks about anything, a lot of times he's all rah, like, I built the biggest, beautiful, whatever, the most biggest, beautiful thing that he's built. But really, I mean, it's not nothing crazy. Or he'll say, oh, I'm gonna get rid of all these people, like, he talks all this big talk, but when it really comes down to it, he's just a normal human being, and he's just being exaggerated. I don't take him so seriously, because I see him talk on all these interview shows compared to Kamala. Kamala was just hiding. She's just hiding, just like Biden, hiding. They don't want to put their feet in the fire and ask them, why didn't you do anything with immigration the last 4 years? How come we haven't done anything, for the people that are actually needing the help? How come we haven't lowered taxes? How come inflation has been going higher and higher under your watch? How come we've trying to get into all these other wars and sending money to all these different countries? How come we're not using that money they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear any questions. They just want to disappear and be acting like they're the good guys, but they're never giving me my cookies. They never give us our cookies. But I'm seeing Donald Trump going on all these interviews, getting asked all these different questions, and he actually has good answers. And he seems more like a normal person that I could talk to and be like, hey, even though he's white, man, whatever, I talk to white people all the time. Some of them have racial undertones that are more than others, and some of them don't. I can speak to anybody, and I can talk to them and have a conversation, have good sense, and he seems like a person that he's like a normal person that you can have a beer with. Maybe not. I would probably maybe wouldn't, but he's the president, so I probably would. I give him that respect. He's the president of the United States. So, again, he's going to these Joe Rogan, he's going to Elon Musk, like all these people that influence our community, influence our country, trying to make our country better, Mark Zuckerberg, like I said, kind of backed off from the Democratic Party because they were trying to censor everything. To a degree, that's not good. And if people are aligning more with Donald Trump, aside from the immigration thing, okay? He's trying to lower taxes, not trying to put taxes on overtime. There's taxing our people that are working in the food industry. Like, he's trying to lower and keep more money into our pocket that we work for. A lot of us work 40 hours minimum for some of y'all, and some of them work more than 40. The people that work more than 40, like, yo, like, we're trying to keep most of our money in our paycheck. We're trying to serve our community, but also keep our money. We don't want our money going to the government, which is what the Democrats, unfortunately, have been doing the last 4 to 8 years. Biden has been in there the last 4 years with Kamala, and they haven't done anything for the community. I don't believe. They've just been dangling those cookies. I believe that although Donald Trump is talking real big on the border, real big on this, he's only going after certain types of people. The actual hard criminals, the people that I don't want, the people that somebody else doesn't want, the rapists and the actual criminals, drug dealers that are coming from other countries, terrorists from, other Middle Eastern countries that actually don't like America. Those are the people that I think he's really trying to go after and have the ability to go after them. My relatives and all that, like, they're afraid, obviously, and because they don't want our family to get deported for being normal people like me, working their 9 to 5, contributing to our community, contributing to our country. And unfortunately, that's where I'm at right now. I feel the heat from relatives, like, oh, like, why would you vote for against your interests? It's like, no, like, I've been voting my interests my whole life. I'm an independent thinker. I look at what people are doing to our country, and if I agree with you like 70% or 65% more with you that time, I'm gonna vote for that particular person. And most of my life, I haven't voted on party lines. I voted Gary Johnson. I voted Andrew Yang. I voted Bernie Sanders. Like, and I'm pretty sure Rand Paul at some point was gonna be a nominee or something. And that's another guy that I really liked, that I really enjoyed and wanted to be in some type of office. But if you don't know those other 4 candidates that I'm talking about, aside from Kamala, aside from Donald Trump, how can you come to me and tell me that I'm a bad person because I'm picking something, or because I'm trying to do my best? I'm self-improving. I'm giving to my community. I've demonstrated that I'm not just a typical man that wants you to get in the kitchen and cook and clean, because I cook and clean. Because I do the things that women do. Because I do the things that a man does. Because I'm an overall great human being. How can you come to me and tell me that I'm doing something wrong and make me feel less than? You can't. And so I'm not going to sit there and take it. And like, a lot of times though, it's the people closest to you, the people that say they love you, support you, care about you, champion you, tear you down. And then they ask or wonder why you don't give them that energy, that positive, loving energy that you give everybody else. Because I'm drained. You drained me of my positive vibe. Because you discredit me and you take everything away from me that I work for. That privilege that I do know that I have, that I take, and I am grateful every single day to do things great for the people that can't do it. They don't want me to just be stuck there in misery with them. They want me to, hey, you have your health, man. You have these privileges. Go out there and get the most money that you can. Do things great for yourself. And on the way, hopefully I can give back to them. And I do feel that I do give back to them. I do hang out with those people that don't have those opportunities. But I can't save everybody. And neither can you, and neither can Kamala or fucking Trump or any of these other people. Just give your best foot forward in your own personal life, and from there on, grow your circle. My name is Kermit Hernandez Rodriguez. This is my life. I give advice, I take advice, I read, I learn, I give input. And that's my rant. It's been a while, huh? Love y'all. Gohan loves y'all. Quinley loves y'all. And my other dog is not here. Harley's. Bye.